today, you have never had it so good. And what do I mean by that? Well, you have multiple choices of brokers, which many of them also provide real-time data as well as charting programs all bundled in, and many of them give it out for free. Not only that, you also have access to all kinds of trading theories. By all means, they are not exhaustive, but just to give you a bit of flavor, you have a choice of technical analysis where you study charts. You also have a choice of going with the fundamental guys. You can also do intermarket analysis if that's your cup of tea. In the case of CPO, usually they would like to see how the US soya oil futures are doing. Some correlation between soya and CPO, and we'll talk about it in future videos. You also have a choice of Elliott wave, candlesticks, support and resistance, Fibonacci, and on and on and on. Now besides that, you have a choice of how you choose to be educated as well. You can either go for free ones like trading forums or trading groups within Facebook, which is getting more popular now. Or you can also go for the paid ones, such as subscribing to newsletters or attending one of the many trading workshops that are available nowadays. Yet, it has been said that over 90% of traders still lose. I'm not quite sure where these 90% figures come from, but I think the point is that a lot of traders continue to struggle in this business, and frankly, this is not an easy business to be in. Why is this happening? Despite the wealth of trading info and knowledge that is now available literally at our fingertips? Well, simply because maybe, just maybe, you are being overloaded and overly confused by too much choice, like we've talked about previously. Too much of a good thing may not be good at all. Just like eating too much, it's not good for your health. Within the context of trading, a good example is on the use of indicators. Believe it or not, we tend to screw up when using these indicators. Here's what I mean. The subjectivity of using the indicator sometimes overwhelms us. My guess is that it has to do with this need that many traders feel to have to trade. We sometimes tend to bypass our indicators of choice by trading when the signal is not entirely clear. But you still plod on because you've seen these indicators being used when discussing trade setups and strategies in various blogs and Facebook groups that you will subscribe to. And you thought that they must be useful in some ways. After all, they do post all their winning trades, along with the charts that show the indicators or system that they use to execute that trade. But there's one thing about trading that you should be aware of. First, no trading system or indicator works all the time. Now, you may think that they work simply because everyone in blogs and Facebook groups seem to only post winning trades and leave out the losers. So you get a little upset when you start hitting losing streaks. You start tweaking your system, adding stuff to your charts, looking for an edge. Unfortunately, in most cases, that's not the case. In fact, you are actually looking for a perfect system or holy grail, which, as you know, simply does not exist. In other words, you tend to over-optimize your trading system. You may start the what-if question scenario in your mind and backtest the system with different parameters, and of course you're going to trade with the variables or parameters which generate the highest amount of wins. Unfortunately, however, in real time, these over-optimized systems rarely perform well. The reason being, we have a tendency to test our system and the indicators that comes with it on an insufficient amount of data, and this is partly because of the free charting program that we get from our brokers. Now, usually these charting programs, you probably have, I don't know, maybe just one or 2 months of intraday data. And here's what happened. You optimize your systems within this 2 or 1 month of data. And once you've done so, once you put it on a real trade and the market condition changes, then you're screwed. You know, market always change. So, and then once that happens, you go back and re-optimize your system again. And, you know, it just goes on and on and on, which ultimately leads you to seemingly running in circle, unable to get past even the break-even level of your trading account. So your action items are, first, choose a strategy that makes sense to you, right? Choose a strategy that makes sense to you. We use too many indicators, too many in the sense that you have all these lines on your charts that just overwhelm you, right? Just find a few that work consistently well for you and go with them. You know, some traders that I know, they even trade without indicators. They just look at price charts and that's it, you know, whatever works for you. Now, I personally feel that those time-tested indicators, they work the best, you know, stuff like RSI, stochastic, you know, the usual suspect. But the thing is that there's no reason you won't find some new indicator that works consistently well for you. I mean, if you find something else that is, you know, that's new, or you develop one yourself, you know, hey, you know, as long as you validate it thoroughly and it works for you, that's just fine. Just don't be too trusting of any bright, shiny objects that comes along your way, you know. Number 2, look for simplicity, structure, and certainty. What do I mean by that? Well, you want to try to reduce as much subjective elements as you can from your system. In other words, you don't want to wait until all the planets are lined up in one straight line before making a decision. Or if this happened, then this must happen. It's just, you know, don't do that. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for you to act promptly and decisively when a trade that meets your trading system requirements come along. You want to have clear, exact, definite rules that you can follow in your trades. Now here's the thing. Rules, they give an element of consistency when making trade decisions. And how the heck can you expect to get consistent results if the way you do your trades is random? I mean, this doesn't make sense, right? And lastly, always validate new ideas. I talk about bright, shiny objects in my previous comment, and the thing is that, you know, don't be too trusting of any new system that comes along, right? The thing is that if you have tested your system over a significant period of time, and this could be anywhere between, you know, several years of data, and if they have been proven to be profitable year in and year out, then you probably have something good going on over here. Remember, what works for one trader may not work for another trader, and if it works for you, great. That's all that counts.